Hey guys, it's your boy Rick Fist, and today I would like to talk about this show called Downtown. It was a super short-lived cartoon that ran on MTV for about a season. It followed this guy named Alex and his life living in downtown New York. I would call this a timepiece type of series, as the series took place and aired in the year 1999, but the series has a universal feel as if it came out today. Relatable even now, no cap. Now, before I get ahead of myself, I would like to talk about a specific episode called Simbin. Now, this is the first episode of the series, and it was perfect. Now, let's get into the cold open. New York is being destroyed by a giant laser for it to turn out to be Alex zoning out of his job, as we all do, enters his friend Goat, snapping him out of it. Now, this intro scene was nice, showing how on a regular day at the job, you slack off and you usually daydreaming, lost in thought, just to make it through the day. But to continue, Alex brings up how he is nervous about him moving into his new apartment, which Goat reassures him will be just fine because him and the kids will be there. Now, cut to Goat and Alex talking about how Goat picked this girl up with one of his best pickup lines. Now, this show was based off of real interviews with real people, supposedly. So the conversation can come off as random but real natural, as if a couple of friends are talking about it. But back to the episode. I enter Chaka, Alex's irresponsible little sister. They started talking about Alex moving into his new place and how even with the new place, Alex has no life anyway outside of work. Then Alex started talking about where he will get the money for a moving van, which Chaka brings up he would have the money if he ain't wasted all on toys. Chaka then brings up the idea of him selling his collection of figurines to get some money together, which he refuses. But next scene, Alex has folded and is selling his figurines. I love the introduction to the comic store as it introduced a good majority of the cast. Uh, we will be with for the rest of the series, including the main love interest, Serena, this goth girl that can barely stand in clients that come into the shop. This also shows Alex's obsession with everything pop culture as he spends half of the money he got on a goddamn Mr. T figure before leaving. Next up, we're at Alex's room at his family's home, and we are introduced to his best friend Jen. I like Jen. I know a couple people hate her, but Jen's a good character. Jen is berating Alex about him obsessing over Serena, even though he never spoke to her, which is a sentiment I can relate to. Nerdy guys can be just as delusional as some girls. This scene had me dying on the inside. Like, oh, the shame.
Horrible. Oh my god. Holy fuck. Why was I born? The shame. Ah, bald. I'm bald. Good. Yourself?
The shame. The shame. The shame, man. But after all that, Alex and Jen start to reminisce about their time in band after Alex found his old clarinet. Jen brings up this girl they call Barthella that they hated. Well, at least Jen did. As Alex had a crush on her, that's why he messed with her so much. And I really just love Jen's response to all that, which was, why can't you just let me enjoy my hate? Which is some real shit. We all had that friend before. Jump to Alex and the gang outside his family's house, moving out the last bit of his furniture. Chaka and Mecca are just sitting to the side, not helping, talking about how the guy called Mecca a hoochie. Chaka ended up hitting the can't be me, bro, saying how she would kick him right in the nuts if he said that to her. After finishing up loading the truck, Alex and Jen comes back to everyone. Jen ends up finally asking him how he got the apartment, which I was wondering the whole episode. Is New York, even in the 1999, working at a printing shop, ain't gonna cut it. Alex explains he met the landlord while he was at Alex's job printing off legal forms. Even went back to the apartment to evict the guy, but Alex never took a look inside, which Jen couldn't believe. Alex finally makes it to the apartment, looks inside, and it's a real deal hole in the wall with a stray cat walking around, trash thrown about everywhere. Mecca takes a liking to the cat, and everyone sits down on the dirty old couch that came with the apartment and look into one of Alex's windows that is completely filled with bricks. Jen jokes that it's a metaphor for Alex's life. Dead end. Alex and everyone decided the couch that came with the apartment has to go and prepared to toss it out the window. Alex asks Chaka to be lookout, and Alex asks, can she handle that? And spoiler, she couldn't. Chaka is a real deal irresponsible person, which you'll see more as we go through the series. Got to everyone tossing the couch parts out of the window, with Chaka and Mecha looking outside for anyone walking past. But once Alex is finally gonna toss out the main parts of the couch, Chaka's completely distracted and he hits a dog and he gets angry and asks her to pay attention. Then as he's finna toss out the final piece, she gets distracted again and hits a car which he gonna have to pay for to get repaired. After Alex tells Chaka she's gonna have to pitch in to pay for the repairs, everyone starts to unload the last bit of furniture and Jen is doing the most of the heavy lifting, with Alex helping a bit and Goat being lazy, not helping at all. Alex is fed up with how everyone is making this move hard and tell Jen and Goat that they are useless and annoying. Which is when Jen lets go of the futon, hitting him. Cut to Matt and Fruity walking down the street to the other members of the main cast. Now these are two characters that are just popping up. Matt was already introduced previously in the comic book store. He works there. And then Fruity is like a friend of Chaka she been knew, but you'll see as the series go on. Fruity's kinda iffy character, sometimes shitty, sometimes not. I still appreciate Fruity as a character. Fruity sees Chaka and wants to shoot his shot, which Matt says ain't worth it. They walk over and they start talking about the time Chaka had to go pee at the movie theater, and the guy and the guy won't let her go. While she's explaining all that, Fruity is trying to cut in and ask them to go to his place. But while this is happening, the van is stolen right behind them. Becca and Chaka run off after it. Back in the apartment, Alex looks out the window, realizes the van is gone. Angry at Chaka, we switch back to Chaka angry at Alex for being right as she is trying to find the van with Mecca. Chaka finds the van and starts talking to the guy that stole it and plays it cool and hops in the van with him. Back to Alex in the apartment, thinking maybe he had made the wrong decision moving into his place, which Goat tells him not to give up and keep pushing forward. Back to Chaka and Mecca. Chaka's at the wheel of the van trying to race any car she sees, which Mecca, being responsible, asks what about Alex. Back to Alex, outside of Alex's apartment, Fruity, Matt, and Goat are talking to Serena about Alex's housewarming gift from his parents, which is this weird gothic looking couch. Goat gives the couch to Serena so he could try and talk to her, and has Matt and Fruity help him carry it off. Chaka and Mecca are still out goofing off at the docks, talking about their fantasies if they could have anything. Back to Jen and Alex, they talk it up one last time about his apartment and she heads out to go home. Chaka now finally forces the thief to drive back to the apartment with the van. By this point, he is chill with her and calls her a weird person because she literally pulls out pepper spray and dude's like, you pretty weird. Like, I'm fine, I'll drive it back. Chaka pulls back up to the apartment, tell Alex all that happened, minus all the bad parts she ended up doing and shit. Basically forcing Alex. Oh, and then she basically forces Alex to let her and the car thief crash down on the floor, and the episode begins to close just as you see like Alex turn red, like he's just finna blow up. Conclusion. All right, cool. Finally, at the end, I can kind of wrap this up and talk about what I actually like about the episode. Sorry for the weird description. This wasn't like the Clarence episode, because it was a lot going on here, so I had to try to condense all that into one thing. I like to say sorry for the long video, but I had to explain a full episode to get the idea of how this show flows and give a little background to it. This is like a gem of the late 90s. Still is relatable to today, like I said before. From the characters to the conversations, the one thing I like most about it is I can relate to Alex being on his own for the first time, not knowing what he's doing in life, trying to separate from some of his interests that may seem kiddish now to other adults, and just trying to find that right balance of having a social life, a job, and hobbies. The cast also seems like real people, which it is, because this voice cast are just random people off the streets, which makes this series 10 times better. I'm trying to make more reviews of this series. By the next review that I'll probably be going over will be another episode of Batman Beyond. So just be on the lookout for that video. And thank you, all you guys, for watching. Oh, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Rick Fist out.